This Saturday morning, it doesn't get as real and raw as I'm showing up here. Like, face literally unwashed, just coming on here as is. But I'm about to make breakfast. I'm just gonna make like an omelet for myself and for my boyfriend. Nothing serious, nothing crazy. It's not intricate at all, but I figured it's been a while since I've been on live, so I'm gonna flip the camera because you guys are not here to see my face. You're here to see what I'm making. And like I said, simple ingredients. I'm gonna use some of this coleslaw mix for my omelet because I need a vegetable. I'm going to be using these bagels, the Hero Classic Plain Bagels. So very low calorie, very high fiber. One bagel has 21 grams of fiber, and I think the daily amount is 25 to 30 grams of protein. I'm sorry, 25 to 30 grams of fiber, and then you can see it has, uh, this will focus, 19 grams of protein. So this is gonna be for me, and we got some reduced fat cheese. We got some eggs. For my boyfriend, we'll be using whole eggs. For myself, I will be using egg white. So, some more ingredients, just slight tweaks. And then we have whipped cream cheese that I will put on my bagel. So, let me keep you guys focused here. So, let's start with my boyfriend's omelet. He doesn't want any vegetables, any additives, just salt and pepper. He recently got his wisdom teeth removed, so he is not very comfortable at the moment. We actually got it done yesterday, so it's only been a day, and yeah, he's not very comfortable right now. So I'm just trying to make sure that he's as comfortable as he can be. And when it comes to eating, obviously when you get your wisdom teeth removed, the dentist will tell you, oh, eat applesauce and eat eat things that are soft, but in reality are not that delicious. So me, who loves cooking, I told him that I got him and that I will figure out a way that he can eat food that tastes good, but that is soft in texture since his mouth is bothering him. So anyway, it's a long story that none of you asked for, but I figured I would share because, again, the omelets are going to be different as far as what I'm adding in one versus the other. Mine will have quite a bit of, texture additives, whereas his will be very plain. All right, let's see. Again, long time no see. Hi, NoFan30K. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Ace Aura. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I don't know how much you guys are seeing. I also don't know on lives if it's like a delay with what you see versus like what I see. But anyway, for those that I guess just joined, I'm making an omelet. I'm making two omelets. One for my boyfriend, one for me. He just had wisdom teeth removed, so his is going to be very, very, very plain. Whereas for me, I guess I can go through what I'll be using. As you can tell from the title of this live, this is not a intricate thing that I'm making, but it's been a while since I've been on live, so I figured I'd come on. This is chicken thighs, so I'm probably gonna chop up one, and I will add it to my omelet. We have reduced fat cheese. We have whipped cream. We have bagels. I'm gonna have a bagel. And then because I like a vegetable in my food, I have some leftover coleslaw mix that I will cook down. And I'll just do that and call it a day. I'm tired. I'm still a little tired. I'm hungry. So this is not we're not on top shelf here this morning. We're just trying to have a slow morning and get the day going. So let me shift you guys over here. Why is this? Hold on, guys. One sec. This part of it. There we go. All right, let me bring you guys closer. All right, so we have the oil warming up. Soon we'll add in the eggs. And then let's actually, because, you know, I mean, those of you that have run my lives, you guys know I love to multitask. I love to have things all going at the same time to save myself time. So we're gonna actually make some coffee. Give me one sec. Where is my espresso machine? Oh, is this it right here? Oh, come on. All right, we'll make coffee later because I forgot to put it in the dishwasher. Anyway, we'll wash it by hand. All right, so this is almost done. I like my pan to be as hot as possible. For those of you that also use stainless steel pans, you know it takes a minute for it to warm up. So we're just gonna give that some time. I like it to be hot. Also limits how much sticking happens as well. But anyway, for those that are new, who've never joined my live before, my name is Chiamaka. I have my channel here on YouTube, Pockets of Protein. It's a cooking channel, but specifically with emphasis on protein. On my short form platforms, I definitely show a lot more of like my fitness and health and wellness lifestyle, whereas YouTube, I decided to just make it about food because I feel that, in the health and wellness space, a lot of the recipes unfortunately tend to show meals that are relatively bland. As a Nigerian woman, an African woman, a foreign person, I like flavor. I like taste. I can't do bland food. It's a no for me. So it's important for me to still feel like I can have all the different kinds of foods that I like, but of course I can tweak and modify and adjust as I need to. So when you go on my channel, whether it's long form or the YouTube shorts, you'll see that, you know, I create a variety of different kind of meals, including meals that look indulgent even because, again, yes, you can live a healthy lifestyle, but balance, right? Like life is meant to be lived. And I don't believe, and nor do I just subscribe to the narrative that you have to be in like food prison on the name of seeing results and improving your health. So that is the basis of my channel. I like to show my personality in YouTube shorts. You'll probably notice some of the videos, even the one as of recently, my most recent YouTube short is me using a trend that I saw on TikTok. There's a guy on TikTok, and I think he's even bringing it to Instagram, where he does this specific type of dance to a specific type of song every time. So I put a cooking spin to it. But I do try to show a little bit of my personality in YouTube shorts, and then I like to come on lives as well, just so that I'm able to engage with you all and humanize my account. So anyway, that's my intro. If it sounds like something that you vibe with, you think you'd benefit from, by all means, please subscribe. I think it goes without saying. And I'd love to have you. Hi, Asma. Welcome to my live. All right, so let's add the eggs. And we'll add a little bit of cheese. I'm just looking at the chat. No fan that you can't remember me. Of course I remember you. Of course, of course. Hi, Anthony. Welcome. Welcome to my life. Now, let's see if I can make this omelet, because I feel like that is the one thing that I do struggle with making omelets. When I try to, like, bend it, it always breaks. But let's be honest, guys. It's still, the food is still gonna, it's all going down the same throat. Like, it's still gonna get eaten regardless, so. But who doesn't like, you know, like an aesthetic omelet? All right. If I mess up here, guys, then I guess that's too bad. All right, let's try. Okay. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. Kind of breaking up at like the ends, but not bad. But yeah, you can see, like, you know, the hotter the pan, it's like a clean, it does minimal sticking. All right, I think I need a bigger spatula. Makes it also easier to, it makes it easier to flip this. So let's try this big black one here. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let's see. You're missing onions and peppers and the eggs. So I explained earlier when this live started. So this omelet is not for me. It is for my boyfriend who just recently had wisdom teeth removal. He cannot eat anything with texture. I mean, he's in a lot of pain right now. So this omelet is for him. That's why it's plain. So I hope that brings clarity there. He can't munch on onions or peppers or anything, so that's why his is just salt, pepper, and cheese. Yeah, but the one for me is going to have. Anyway, I don't need to. I don't need to tell you guys. Like, you'll see it, but mine is going to have vegetables. It's going to have chicken as well to, again, increase the protein content. All right, this is done. So I'm gonna put this on low because I'm going to end up reusing the same pan. And let's bring you guys back over here. Okay. All right, that's his. And he'll have it with maybe some juice or something, but simple omelet. But let's work on mine. So let's put his to the side and just, you know, it's done. All right, now let's work on mine, which will be a little bit more interesting. So give me 1 second. Let me just clean up the pan I'm going to be using. All right. Now, I'm going to take some of this coleslaw mix. You're a good girlfriend. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I tried. He's a great boyfriend as well, so makes me, you know, makes me want to take care of him, you know? It's a two-way street. All right, let's... Okay. So I'm gonna chop the coleslaw mix down. Good knife. Okay. Just... Okay. We got a bowl. Okay. And then what I'll do is re-oil that pan that I just used, and make sure it warms up just like before while I continue preparing the other ingredients. So just 1 second. I figure you guys don't need to watch me oiling a pan. I don't think that's necessary. All right, so I got some leftover chicken thighs here. So I'm just gonna use one, and I'm gonna chop that down too. Where's my knife? And again, this is just a way for me to up the protein. I tend to do that a lot, actually. I'll add like chicken, I'll add salmon. I am currently limiting red meat at the moment, but you know, people add steak. They have steak and eggs. For me, because I am not eating red meat at the moment, it's a lot of like seafood. I love seafood. I love fish, chicken, salmon, even beans. I really like beans as well. So I do a lot of that in replacement of steak. Steak is not even like my red meat of preference. It's actually lamb. I love lamb. So some blood work came back and I need to limit the red meat. So, all right, so crack some eggs. Just gonna do 1 egg yolk. So we're just gonna kind of sieve out the yolk just to get the egg white. As much as I can anyway. All right, that's enough. I typically would use a bottle, like the carton of egg white, but I don't have that. I only have regular eggs, so making do with what we have. All right, a little salt. Add a little pepper. Let's see. Coleslaw mama. You betcha. Honestly, I'm a vegetable mama. I need a vegetable in my food. I need a green in my food. So, all right. All right. I'm gonna flip you guys over again. This should be heated up. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we will add the coleslaw. Let that kind of cook down a little bit till it's softened. Bring our ingredients. Now this may end up breaking. I'm not gonna wish that on myself like the omelet, just because I think just looking at the ingredients, there's definitely more filling than there is egg, but we'll see. Let that keep cooking. Okay. So again, I said this in the beginning, but I'm going to be using these bagels for myself. So very low calorie, very high protein. The fiber content is 21 grams of fiber in one bagel. So while that's going, we'll toast a bagel. Okay. Let that toast for a little bit. Okay. Now, bring you guys back over here. And the chicken. We don't need to cook the chicken that long as it's already cooked. It's just to warm it up a little bit. All right. Now, let's see if we can get good coverage with the egg mix. Or if this will just end up being a scramble. Either way, it's gonna be devoured, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't know if I have enough coverage with this. It's fine. All right, add some cheese. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do what I did with my boyfriend's omelet. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, so it's definitely giving scramble as I as I predicted, but that's okay. We have the bagel, so it can be also like a breakfast sandwich. I'll take the wins where I can get them, which is when I did his. So, all right. Let me get a plate. So, is it just me? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys put? Do you put? What is it called? Cream cheese on your bagel, even if you're having a breakfast sandwich. Like instead of butter, you put cream cheese. I'm curious to know. Hi, Angelina. I got 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations! Congratulations! That's huge. That is huge. I'm so proud of you. Congrats. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, this is done. So we will put together my sandwich, and then we're gonna make espresso coffee. Hello, Jill. Welcome. Angelina. Emil Zaha from Bansko in Bulgaria passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. May they rest in peace. Yeah, may they rest in peace. Okay. A little bit of just put like light cream cheese. Okay. This is the top. Okay, that's the top. Yeah, let's try and pack this. Hold on. Let me actually bring us over to the island and not the stove. If I hadn't used, what is it called? Shredded cheese, I would have added a slice of cheese, like I like pepper jack cheese, to the bagel. But because I thought that I would be able to get away with this omelet that has now turned into a scramble, we will just have to manage. Ow. Okay. I don't know if you guys are like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a stickler for the that's a lot. Well, your girl eats a lot, so. Also, keep in mind that this is only 1 egg and 2 egg whites from 2 eggs. The reason that it looks like a lot is because the coleslaw and the chicken adds volume to the food, which is a win for me as somebody who strength trains 4 to 5 times a week and is also on a caloric deficit, just trying to lean out a little bit. The extra volume helps me not feel like I'm starving myself. So that's why it looks like this. All right. And this is like what I'm doing is very extra and very not needed considering that it's just me eating this, but I figure you guys are my guests. I don't want to say audience, my guests to my kitchen, so always like it to look like it makes sense. So let me take you guys off the tripod like I always do. So this is my breakfast sandwich. Looks delicious, lots of veggies, high protein. I mean, the bagel alone is 19 grams of protein. 2 eggs. I mean, the eggs is like maybe like 12 grams of protein, give or take. The chicken itself has some protein. So again, high protein, pockets of protein, hence the title of the page. So that's it for breakfast. Now, like I said, we are making breakfast, so it's not just the food part. I want to make some coffee. Well, it's technically espresso because of the way, the quantity, and how it's made. So let's, let me clean up here a little bit or make some room. So let me show you guys actually what it looks like. The contraption I use is this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but the water goes at the bottom. There's a filter. So this is from yesterday. So this is ground up coffee beans. It's put in this kind of filter, and then you put it on the stove, and essentially you're like cooking it or you're boiling the water. The water and the coffee will then enter into the filter of this. Oh, and I realize I'm pouring coffee all over my counter. But it will seep through the filter above into this contraption, and then you pour the coffee from here. So I do need to clean up a little bit though. Like I said, this is from yesterday. I meant to put it in the dishwasher. I meant to run the dishwasher yesterday, but guys, it was Friday. Like, I didn't feel like it, and that's just keeping it very real with you. So I'm just gonna trash out the coffee beans that are ground up here. So let's see. How is like, oh, there we go. Yeah, so this is what the filter looks like. So you put water in here, you put your ground coffee beans in here, and then put it on top. And that's how you make espresso, because it's a lot of ground coffee beans with very little water. So it's very concentrated, very caffeinated. So I'll be back. Let me just dump this out. And then rinse out all these things since I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. And the coffee is just going to be for me. Again, with my boyfriend's wisdom teeth removal, I don't think it's ideal for him to have anything acidic like coffee. So it's just going to be a single serving. And honestly, like water, soap and water will do, considering like this only holds water. You don't add anything to it. All right. Very mundane, I know. But again, it's my own fault for not putting these in the dishwasher. All right. Now, let's dry her off. I don't know why I'm saying her, but whatever. So, shift you guys over here. And dry her off, and then we'll go ahead and ground some coffee. So over the years, I have learned how to make coffee in different ways. I've always been the type to feel that it's all done the same. Coffee is coffee, or espresso, or whatever. It's all about like whatever technique you prefer. So learning how to make coffee when I was younger, or like in my 20s, I used to make it like the drip method, where you just ground your coffee. This is the coffee bean grinder that I'm gonna be using. I was cooking like a nut last night, that's why it's... Me and this kitchen go together, guys. Always in the kitchen, always trying out a new recipe, always making something. And I find it to be fun. But yeah, the kitchen, she gets a lot of work. And therefore she gets dirty a lot. And sometimes I'm too tired to try and clean her right after. I just go to sleep and let it be tomorrow's problem. All right, so this is, hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. So when I grind my coffee for the espresso machine, I typically will keep her on like the coarse side. So there's coarse, there's medium, and there's fine. Fine, so if I am making, I'm trying to think. I don't even know in what situation you would use fine, but I tend to just keep her on coarse. I might actually try fine because this is an espresso. Oh, it's already on fine. Okay. So yeah, so for the espresso machine, like you want it fine for that kind of contraption. But if you're doing like the French press method, which I also have and have done before, you would want to like turn this over to the coarse section. I always forget the difference, but anyway. So take this off. We're gonna turn the stove on high because it doesn't, what's nice with this method is that it does not take long to make our espresso. Yeah, let's try that first since again it's only me having this. Okay. And I store my coffee beans in this container. It's just to help preserve the quality of the coffee beans. On the weekends, I don't really track my food. I tend to track quite a bit during the week, but during the weekend, I don't. When it comes to like coffee, again, as I told you guys, protein is a big priority for me. This is the brand that I really enjoy having, Slate. Has 20 grams of protein and it's 100 calories per can. And I don't know if the camera will focus on the ingredients because I know that's a big thing for folks. The cellulose gel and things is, It could be better, but again, it's like sometimes I'll mix that in as well. But anyway, so the ground coffee is done. So now, let's, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put it over there. That's why that's red. And when I'm making espresso, I try to do as little, not as little, but enough water that it can make for a drink, like a full drink, but not so much that you're going to get like a tumbler of coffee, if that makes any sense. All right, so now you take the filter, you add that on top. Let me zoom in. There we go. And then add on the ground coffee. So I like to do this in stages with the ground coffee. Like I'll grind enough that I think, okay, let me just make sure that it doesn't overfill like beyond the limit. And then if I have room, I'll grind some more, which I always have more. And then I'll top it off and just kind of do that until it's fully okay. And this is like the remaining amount. So I estimated this pretty perfectly actually, because when my boyfriend makes coffee, he uses, like when he makes it this way, I mean, this is the only way we make coffee, to be honest. He uses measuring cups and a scale. All right, so now twist this on. Okay, make sure it's tight, and then you put it over there. And you'll hear it start to make a noise. It's kind of like a kettle pot, like that's used to make tea. Like it'll start to make a noise, and then you'll know when it's done because you don't hear the gurgling of the water in the bottom compartment of this tool, which means that all of the water has evaporated from the bottom into the upper compartment where the espresso will be. So yeah. But anyway, I mean, I think that covers it. I wanted to show you guys how I make my breakfast, specifically my breakfast sandwich. Again, she's a beauty, she's full, and yeah. I'm gonna make my coffee now. You can stick around and watch how that's done. You don't have to because the food portion is done, but if you want to stick around, you can. Like I said, this live is more so for you guys to hang out with me. Nothing more, nothing less while I make breakfast. This is a very realistic Saturday morning for me. So this is not curated like maybe some of my other reels where I show a lot more, let's say, dynamic in the recipe that's being shown. This is just me making breakfast for my man and I. So, but again, if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome. So we have the coffee. You can hear it going. So that sound means that the water in the bottom is starting to boil up. So to be honest, this method of making coffee, I find it to be more so associated with sound. So I need to be able to hear that the water boiling has stopped, and that's how I know when it's done. And then we'll crack some ice. I realize that a lot of the ways that I cook my food tends to be really manual. So like for example, so this will make a iced espresso drink. And oh, you know what we should make? We should make a shaken, what is that? Like a brown sugar shaken espresso drink? Hmm. I think that's what we'll make actually because I have brown sugar like sweetener. Yeah, let me get the ingredients. I think that's what we'll make. Give me one sec. But yeah, you can hear the sound going. So that's the water boiling from here into this. And you'll know when it's done when you don't hear the boiling anymore. Alright. Sorry, I was munching on the remaining food in the the remaining food in the pan. Alright, so for the brown shaken espresso, I'm gonna need, let's see, we're gonna need a mason jar, which I have. Yeah. So, have our mason jar there on me. And then again, in the name of just trying to be healthier, we have, well, I don't know if this is healthier, but anyway, it's a sweetener by Swerve. So I'm going to use this as the brown sugar. For milk, where's my milk? We have Milk. I like this brand a lot. Very simple, straightforward ingredients. And also I think it's calorically friendly as well for me who is in a cut. So I like to use this as my milk for everything. And we'll need cinnamon. So we got cinnamon here. Let's see, milk, coffee, cinnamon, brown sugar, and then we'll need a cup, obviously, and some ice. All right. So I don't know if you hear, but the gurgling sound is slowing down, which means that this is almost done. I will shut this off once it pretty much goes silent. Because anything longer, you will burn your coffee and it will taste like so. All right, so you see how we're not hearing anything anymore, so let's turn this off. Take that off. And now, what we'll do is we're going to cut ice. So we make our ice the old-fashioned way where my boyfriend puts water in a big, like, I don't even know what to call it, like a container takeaway. I don't know what to describe it as. It's like what people use, I guess, for the beach. It looks like a cooler, like a water cooler of some kind. He'll put like a bunch of water in that, put it in the freezer. I guess there's some kind of process that happens, and then he'll literally take the ice out of the tank or the container and then cut it down. And so our ice tends to look like this. Let me zoom out. Yeah, it tends to look like this. So what I usually do is like I'll take like a few pieces and take a hammer and cut it down so that it can fit in a cup or like whatever container that I need it to fit in. So let's see. And then I hope you guys can, yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so take a hammer. So when it comes to either tenderizing meat, I use this. I don't use this on top of like the flesh of the meat. Maybe put something on top and then use this. When I'm also breaking down ice, I use this tool. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Now, I'm gonna add our put some cinnamon in this. And then we'll take some of the, just put like a spoonful. Okay. All right. And then, let's see, we'll add. So as you can see, it's not a lot of espresso that's created here. Swirl it around. Add the ice. Some of, as you can see, some of the pieces are still kind of big, but it's fine. All right, I think that's good. Now, I'm gonna shake this. And I'm going to use a paper towel around the lid because I have noticed that when I just shake it as is, coffee tends to get everywhere. I don't know if that will help, but I can only try. So I'm just gonna make sure it's tight and then shake. And it'll start to foam. Okay, now we're gonna break more ice to put in the cup that's gonna hold everything. So where is it? So done. That's done. Now we will take our cup, add the ice in. Okay. Use this napkin and just wipe down. I need to clean this kitchen today anyway, so really doesn't matter. All right, now Take some milk. Let me actually, hold on. I'm actually going to sip some of this because I feel like a lot of the cinnamon and sugar and things are in the foam of the, what is it called? The mason jar. So let me. All right. Yeah. And even still need to sip some of this down because we're gonna add milk. So. Okay, I think that's enough. Now we'll add some milk. I usually either do that or dump it, but I don't I don't want to dump the extra in the cup all to make room. I'd rather just sip it. All right. Okay. And then we'll add some French vanilla Tirani syrup. Sugar, this is the sugar-free one. And as a touch, add a little dash of ground cinnamon. So save yourself, what is it, like $8-9 at Starbucks? Can easily make this at home. And then let me take you guys off the tripod so you can really see what's going on here. So this is a multi-shaken brown sugar espresso drink. And it's delicious. I've made this many times, so it's very good. So between that and my breakfast sandwich, I don't know, some of you may have joined late, but this is 2 eggs, one of which is just egg white with coleslaw and cooked chicken thigh in a bagel. So that amps up the protein content. That is my breakfast. It's delicious. Highly recommend. And that'll be it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you want. I'm a vibe. I would like to think I'm a vibe. I'm easygoing, and I like to make good food all while trying to make healthy choices. So if that's something you feel like you relate to, definitely subscribe. I'm going to go wolf this down now because I'm starving. And I hope you guys all have a great Saturday and a great weekend. And I will see you in the next live. Take care, guys. Bye.